Hi, I'm Kristen and welcome back. Today's workout will be a full body workout with dumbbells. I have two sets, an 8-pound and a 5-pound. The 8-pound we'll probably use most of the time. 5-pound I'm going to use for one specific exercise that I go overhead with, and I know I need that. So make sure that the weight that you use is challenging for you, but it's not so hard that you can't do like 10 reps. Okay, so you make that decision, go lighter or heavier. Whatever works for you. Okay, let's get started. We'll start with some warming up. First, just open those legs a little wider than your hips. We'll take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower down. A deep inhale. Feel that length through your body. And exhale. I always bend my knees when I go down. Deep breath in, lift up to the sky. Exhale down. We'll do one more deep breath in. Get a little longer and exhale, lower those arms. From here, just start to roll those shoulders up and back. Really get the movement through that full range and then the other direction. So we're really going to try to hit all different parts of the body today. One more. Now big circles with those arms up and around again, full range, whatever that looks like to you, keeping the rest of that body nice and still. And let's go the other direction. Two more, getting those shoulders nice and warmed up, that blood starting to flow. All right, I'm just gonna come to the side for swinging that leg forward and reaching with that opposite arm. I don't care how big you lift. Do your best to keep your body long, your spine long. This is a nice stretch for the back of the leg. You're working your hip flexors a little to lift that leg up. You're working that core to help stay long. Keep that breath going. One more each leg. And then bring it down. Last bit we'll do here. You're gonna kick one heel to the opposite butt. And as I kick, I'm flexing my foot. And then I'm gonna add my arms. If it feels like it's too much coordination with the arms, leave it out. I just like the extra little bit of body movement I get here. And it also helps to warm up that body. We're gonna do this for 20 more seconds. And then we move on to our first circuit. So it's gonna be 2 circuits that we'll run through twice with ab work after each circuit. All right, one more time, and then lower that down. Shake everything out. Grab onto your heavy set of weights, whatever that is for you today, and then come up to stand. So we'll start doing a side lunge with our legs staying still as far as they're not moving in and out. We will be bending the knees though. So I'm going fairly wide, holding my weights just right down in front of me, right in front of my pelvis. And I'll bend one knee, hinge my hips back, and lean to the knee that's bent. Lift up really tall and go the other side. So every time you lift, lift from that seat, lift from that core, and then the other side. So this can be a nice kind of deliberate pace, meaning you're moving. If you want to go a little slower, be my guest. If you want to go faster, then a deliberate pace, be my guest. But with that being said, make sure you're lifting and really focusing. We have 10 seconds left on the butt lifting, breathing, hinging. We're gonna do one more time each side after this. Last one, lift it up, and then just center your legs off for the next one. All right, we'll start in 10 seconds. Next, we're gonna do some bicep work. So getting those legs nice and centered, about hip width apart, palms face out, right arms nice and long, standing tall. I like to soften my knees here, but I'm gauging my legs. Now, we'll bend all the way up and all the way down. We do that 7. This is called 21. That's 3. 4. Now we do this without swinging. I just caught myself swinging. 5. Shoulders stay back. 6. And 7. Now go all the way up, halfway down for 7. all the way up, halfway down for 7. So as I'm doing this, my arms are staying close into my body. My heart's open. We've got 2 more. And I'm breathing. Now stop halfway. Now go all the way down and just halfway up. All the way down, halfway up. 5 more. 4, 3. My goal is to get up next to 10 pounds. Last one, and lower it down. All right, so now bring yourself down onto your knees. One knee is actually gonna go down. The other knee is gonna stay, the other foot, excuse me, is gonna stay down and the knees lifted. Watch me. All right, so from here, we're gonna take those weights and bring them up right next to the shoulders. Facing in, you're kneeling nice and tall. I'm gonna move back just a little. So I'm kneeling nice and tall. I've got that tailbone long, my abs in. From here, I'll push up, rotate the palms out, and then bend the elbows, palms rotate in. So we go up and down. That's it. 30 seconds here. So this one, right now I'm able to do with my 8 pounds. But I know as I get a little more tired, might get a little harder for the second round. But I'm gonna do it. I'm not totally straight in my arms, but I'm doing my best. Up, we have 8 seconds left. Really using my abs to stabilize, that's helping. Using my butt, we've got 1 more. Lift up. And lower it down. Whew. All right, then come all the way back up to stand. We've got our second round. Make sure you have water around, near you, excuse me, and take sips whenever you want. I'm gonna finish this circuit and then we'll take a water break together. All right, so we start in that wide leg position for the side lunge, okay? Hands start down right in front of your hips. You hinge back, you bend in one direction, and lift up tall and go the other direction. So your shoulders are on your back. We did 30 seconds last time. This time we're gonna go for 45, so a little bit longer. So as I'm doing this, I'm hinging from the hips and my spine is staying long. So I'm not rounding my back. I'm honoring the curves of my spine and I'm using those abs to help me hinge and really find length. We have 15 seconds left. Grounding into those feet. My legs are parallel, meaning toes and knees facing forward. 5, 4, 3, 2. We're gonna do 1 more each side just because I wanna keep us even and come all the way up. All right, those legs will come together. We'll do 21 again for the bicep curl, 21 times. And instead of coming forward, if it's an option for you, rotate out a little to the side. So again, shoulders are on your back, grounding through those feet, abs in, and we bend up and we stretch down. So 7. This is a little bit of a shorter exercise, but it packs a punch. Just repetitive movement, right? You have 4 more, actually 3, sorry. 1 more. Okay, so on the next one, you go all the way up, halfway down. All the way up, halfway down. Remember, you're grounding down into those feet. You're lifting up long through that spine. 2 more. Hugging those arms close to my body. Last one. Now go all the way down, halfway up, all the way down, halfway up. Whew, I'm starting to feel this for sure. You have 4 more. Shoulders are back. 2 more. Got 1 more. And lower those arms down. All right, I'm gonna put these down and switch to my 5 pounds because I can tell my arms are getting tired. Stay with those if you know you can. It's a good challenge. I'm gonna go to my other knee this time, right? So switching knees, standing really tall, lengthen that spine, palms face in. So I'm lifting up and I'm engaging my abs and then lift up, palms face out, bring it in, palms face in. So again, this one's gonna be 45 seconds. 30 seconds last round, 45 this round. So as I'm doing this, I'm just thinking about someone almost pulling a string from the crown of my head up towards the sky to help me stay long. I'm imagining those outer hips pulling in, or I'm actually doing it. I want you to do that. Outer hips pulling in, grounding through that front foot. Breathing. I've got 10 seconds left. I made a good call for myself with these weights. 4, 3, let's do one more using those abs. 1, and then lower all the way down. Okay, place those weights down. You can actually stay down on the mat because we're gonna move to some ab work. So take a sip of water. If you don't have any, grab some. Okay, and then we're gonna get started. So you'll come down onto your back on your mat, just centering yourself off. The legs will open wider than your hips. The arms will reach overhead. I'm gonna move this back a little bit. The arms will reach overhead and they're as wide as those legs. So try to soften those front ribs down. Abs are already active. We'll come up and reach one arm to the opposite foot. And actually, let's take one hand out to the side. So we're gonna stay on one side. So one arm comes out to the side, the arm in the back will lift up. You're gonna use the arm down to help you. Reach up to that foot and then lower it right back down. Up and down. You come as high as you can. We're using those abs, obviously. That arm that's down can help you. But you're lifting as high as your body allows. It might be the smallest movement, and that's okay. You're just getting your body flowing, blood flowing. We're getting those abs strong. And we all start at a different place. We've got 5 more, 4 more, and 3, 1 more. Lower that down, and then we'll switch to the other side. So that arm you were just lifting is gonna stay down. The other arm reaches back. So again, we'll soften those front ribs down a little, but you're still trying to find length. And you lift up and lower it down. And lift and lower. Use that breath. So inhale back, exhale. It's a really deep breath in, a long exhale out. Staying relaxed in your jaw, long in your neck. We have 5 more, using that arm that's down to help if you need it. 3 more, definitely feeling that burn. 2 more, we've got 1 more, and then lower down. Whew. Hug your knees into your chest. Let's just rock side to side here for a moment. And then bring yourself up to a seated position, whether you go to your side and come up or rock yourself up seated. Just getting yourself centered into your mat. I'm gonna tie my shoe, it's coming undone. And grab onto one of your weights. I'm grabbing my 8. You're just gonna hold 1, so 8 feels really doable for me. And getting yourself so your tailbone slightly tipped under. We're gonna start with the feet down, and we'll have the option to lift the feet up in a moment if you wanna challenge yourself a little bit more. So first, lifting tall through your spine, tailbone tips under slightly, right? So I'm not sitting up on the butt bones, I'm rounded back behind them, softening those front ribs in, and then I'm just going one side and the other side. So the legs, ideally they stay still, and you're just moving from that rib cage, twisting side to side. So to challenge this, first you can lift one leg up, or lift both legs up. I'm gonna keep both legs up. If you're doing one, now would be a good time to switch to the other leg. We'll keep it even. We've got 10 more seconds. Keep that breath going. Keep those legs as still as you can. The effort is as much as the movement, right? 3, 2, 1. Place those feet down. Place the weight down. And we'll come onto the side for a side plank. So what you'll do is prop yourself up onto your forearm. You have the option to keep both of your legs stacked, or your top leg can come forward of your bottom leg, right? If you need to also, you keep the bottom knee bent, right? If you're really learning and this is new. So We'll start from here. You also have the option of adding the weight into your hand. I'm gonna do it without the weight, but if you wanna do it with the weight, you just hold it onto your waist. We're gonna do a hip dip. All right, so coming into that position, I'm gonna keep my legs together. Top hand can stay down if you need, but I'm gonna put it on my hip and pressing strong into the bottom arm, lifting the hips. We lower down and up, dip and lift. The most important thing here is we really stay connected underneath the underneath side. That shoulder pulls onto your back, really keeping that shoulder nice and strong and connected. We have 8 seconds left, reaching from the crown of the head to the tailbone to the heels. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower, hit down. Okay, right away, we go to the other side. After this, we go into our second circuit, the strength training. All right, so press that arm down, grabbing that weight if you're gonna use it, setting yourself up appropriately for your situation today with your legs. Press into that bottom arm, lift your hips up, open that chest, you lower down and up, lower and lift. So you're pressing into that forearm to engage through the muscles, the underneath side, keeping that shoulder nice and connected. Shoulder pulls back. You have 10 seconds left. This is definitely a little harder for me on this side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew, all right. We're gonna come back up to standing. First, excuse me, yeah, standing. First I'm gonna have a sip of water though. Then we'll come up to standing, grab your weights. The next movement will be a tricep extension. I can do the 8 pounds. That works well for me. So just so you know, that's where I'm going starting from. So what we'll do first is stand towards the front edge of one mat, okay? And you'll step one leg back. The leg that's back, that arm's gonna be long. The leg that's forward, the hand's gonna just come onto that hip. So first, shoulders on your back. You'll bend that elbow. Keep your shoulders open and extend and bend that arm. Extend and bend. So when we're in a lunge like this, you're still really connecting into your core. Your legs are obviously active to hold you still. Those butt muscles are active. So I always engage my outer hips in, especially when I'm doing any balance work. Shoulders are back. We have 10 seconds left. Keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up and then lower that down. And then we'll switch to the other leg. I'm turning around just so you can see me. You can stay where you are. So go to the opposite leg goes back. Excuse me, I'm going to the other side of the mat. You probably are not. And then keep one hand on that front leg. The other arm's gonna bend first, heart's open, and you extend and bend that arm. So you really square off those shoulders, pulling your hips forward so they're nice and even. And you're breathing, neck is long. Jaws relaxed. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it back, shoulders back, and then lower that down. Bring yourself all the way up. All right, next one, we're gonna come back down onto your knees. This time, you'll keep one weight in your hand. The other weight's just gonna go to the side. So just get yourself on your knees. And if you need extra padding under your knees, you can always roll your mat. I have a nice thick mat, so I'm good. Hold that weight in front of your body and out nice and long. So you wanna get a weight that you can hold out long. You'll circle that up, back, and around. Staying in this direction. We'll do this direction for 15 seconds, and then we'll reverse. So as I'm doing this, I'm doing my best to really stabilize through my center. My inner thighs, even though they're not together, are working towards one another. After this one, stop in the front and reverse. Doing my best to really move just from the upper body. keeping myself nice and stable and still in the lower half as best as I can. Keep that breath going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower that down. All right, grab that other weight. Bring yourself back up to standing. The next variation will be a few different movements together with a squat. So I'd say the legs are about a little wider than your hips, okay? We'll start with the arms down by your side, palms facing in. Let's go really tall through that spine. You'll do a hammer curl. Hands stop next to your shoulders. Squat, bend the knees. Weight in your big toe and your heels. Lift up nice and tall. Push your arms up. Bend your elbows, lower down. That's 1 rep. So you bend, squat, arms up, and down. I messed that one up. Sorry about that. So you're gonna bend. You squat. Keep your arms where they are. Stand up tall, then lift the arms up. Bend and lower down. So you do a hammer curl. You bend and you lift tall up through that spine, bend and lower down. Again, you squat. Whew, I'm messing this one up. You do a hammer curl. You squat, stand tall, and lift it up. This is what happens when there's multiple movements in one exercise. So we bend, we squat, we stand tall and lift, bend and lower. And hammer curl, we'll do 2 more. Squat, stand tall, use that whole body to help you do this movement, right? 1 more time, so putting everything together. Bend, stand tall, lift your arms up, bend and lower those arms down. All right, we're gonna move on to the second round of this circuit. Remember, grab a sip of water at any point if you need to. Standing really tall, we're gonna go back to that tricep work. Again, I'm sticking with my 8 pounds. You do you. All right, so coming to one side of the mat. It's time to get started. Standing as tall as you can. You're gonna stretch one leg back. We're basically going into a lunge. All right, one hand on your leg. The other arm's gonna bend. So let's square yourself off, abs in, and then bend, stretch and bend that arm. This time we're gonna go 45 seconds here. So, as you're doing this, neck is long. Jaws relaxed. Think about posture. Got those front ribs softening back to help us stay engaged in that core. That front knee is right over that middle of the foot. I just saw mine veering out, so you want to keep that connected in line. 15 seconds left. In line with the middle of that foot. 10 seconds, keep those shoulders back, think posture, bring the shoulder blades towards one another. 4, 3, 2, 1, bring that arm down and bring that leg forward. Whew, take a quick reset, we'll give you about 10 seconds and we'll get set up for the other side. All right, so you're standing nice and tall. You're gonna bring the other foot back, one hand's on the thigh, arm that's working starts down, shoulders back, bend the elbow. So really get the shoulders back, stretch and bend that arm. You inhale and exhale. As you're doing this, again, seeing if that knee is tracking properly right over the middle of that foot. Focus on weight in the big toe and the heel. So even though we're focusing on the arm, your butt's still active, your abs are still active. More than halfway done. Keep working that tricep. We have 10 seconds left. Find a little more length through that waist. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then bring that down. Whew, we are almost done with this. All right, so now we bring ourselves down onto the knees. And then place one weight down. You're gonna hold the other weight in both of your hands. This is really like an around the world with the weight, right? So you're kneeling tall, everything's active, shoulders right over your hips, arms out in front of you, we circle. I'm gonna go the other direction first. Around, We always will go to the direction that our body favors, that feels more natural to us. So it's good to mix it up for your own body, for your brain. 5 more seconds in this direction. 3, 2, once you're at the center, reverse. And now see if that feels a little more natural for you. Again, we're keeping our center as still as we can. Keeping those abs engaged. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower that down. Come up to stand. Remember, take a sip of water at any point that you need to. We are almost done with this circuit. We will definitely grab a sip before we finish with our ab work, and then we'll stretch. All right, so legs just a little wider than your hips. Standing tall, arms start down next to your hips. Opening your chest, bend the elbows for a hammer curl. Bend the knees, go into a squat. Stand tall, lift up with the arms and legs. Bend, lower down. You bend, we go down. We stand tall, lift. I feel strong. I feel nice and powerful on my lift up. I'm really engaging all the muscles we've been working. Hammer curl, squat down. Press into the big toe and the heel, stand tall, lift up, bend, lower down. We've got 4 more. So really working down with the feet, lift up with those abs with your butt, and lower down. 3 more. Keep breathing through. Stand nice and tall. I can tell I'm going lower than I used to, which feels really nice. 2 more. I love when I can feel myself getting stronger. It's not always easy. 1 more. Go down. Stand tall, lift, bend, and lower down. Oh my gosh. We're done with our second circuit. I'm gonna have a sip of water and then we'll work our way back down onto your mat. Again, making sure you're staying hydrated. So important. When we sweat, we lose salt or sodium. We need to keep that in a good place for the health of our body. All right, lying down onto your backs. We're gonna start with that star. So the arms, let's see, one arm's gonna reach out the side. Again, I'm gonna start with a different side this time. Legs open a little wider than your hips, opposite arm reaches back. Now soften those front ribs. We lift up and we lower down. We lift and lower. Remember, if it's not available to you to lift all the way up, you can keep it really small. And reach and up. Pulling back through that center as you lift up through that core. Using that arm that's down to help. 10 more seconds. And again, using that breath. 3, 2, and 1. Staying down. We're gonna go right away to the other side. Arm reaches back, centering yourself off, softening the front ribs, and we lift up and lower down. We lift and lower. Using that breath to help. That arm may help also. I definitely feel it. It almost helps ground me. I'm not even pushing into it that much personally, but having it there, it's like some type of support. We have 5 seconds left. Ooh, I'm getting tired. Last one. And then lower down. Hug those knees into your chest. You know, I definitely, after so many years of being in the fitness industry, I definitely have a strong core, but it doesn't mean I don't feel this stuff. All right. Now we get ourselves into that half roll down position. Tailbone slightly tips under, but I always say this, make sure you're lifting and not just dumping down into your low back. So lift, slightly soften those front ribs back. The weight comes out in front. I'm gonna keep my elbows slightly bent. And we start going side to side. Now, I'm gonna lift both my legs up. You can keep your feet down or do one arm at a time. I'll tell you, one leg at a time. I'll tell you when to switch, just in case you are doing that. So your ribs are rotating side to side. It's not just the weight. You're twisting. Switch legs if you have one leg down. And breathing. We've got 5, 3, 2, 1. Place those feet down. Place that weight down. All right, we are almost done. One more exercise and then we're gonna cool it down. Okay, so coming onto your side. This time I'm gonna have my legs split. I like to just mix up different positions, even though it's not a big difference. Changes it a little bit, right? So feet are flexed, pressing into the bottom arm, top hand on my hip. We lift up, find that nice long line, heart open, dip down and up. We have 30 seconds each side. Then we get to cool down, woohoo! So as you're doing this, remember, you're pressing strong into that bottom arm to keep that connection around your shoulder, into your back. 10 seconds left, reaching from the crown of the head to the tailbone to the heels. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower down. Woohoo! I'm sweating. I always say that, but there's no air on, so I'm just going with the natural temp. All right, on to your other side. Bottom leg back, top leg forward, pressing strong into the bottom arm. We lift all the way up, find that length through that spine. 30 seconds, down and up. Draw that shoulder onto your back. Feel that length through that waist. Feel those front ribs softening back. All right, we have 12 seconds left. Keep lifting. This side's still harder than the other side. 4, 3, flex those feet, 2, and 1, and lower down. All right, you finished with that, but we're still gonna cool down a little stretching. Let's come back into child's pose. Reach those arms out in front of you, nice and long. Legs are open, they just frame your ribs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Now walk your hands to one side of the mat. The opposite hip is gonna reach away, so you get a stretch in your side, especially from that last exercise we did. We always had a nice crack. Walk your hands the other direction. The hip goes away from the hands. Get a nice stretch. Bring yourself back to the center. Come onto your hands and knees. Round your back for a little cat-cow. And then open that spine. Pull your heart forward. Let's do that again. Round. Feel that length, that rounding in your back. Open your chest. Pull that heart forward. Press down into your arms. Now curl your toes under. Round through your back slightly. Lift your hips. And sit back or press back into the heels for child's pose. Heels may not touch, but you're working, not child's pose, down dog. You're working towards that. And then you walk your hands back towards your feet. Head's heavy, relaxed jaw, long neck, roll up with your knees slightly softened. Coming all the way up to stand, and you're all done. Great job. That was a lot of work. Nice long 30-minute workout. We got to work the whole body with those weights. Nice real focus on the upper body, which is always good. Sometimes I think it gets ignored. All right, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next time.